everyone, and welcome back to Angel's Peaceful Garden. I am a beginner gardener in Gardening Zone 8B, Texas, and it is a beautiful sunny day here, and I thought it would be a perfect day for me to do my May garden tour. So, if you haven't seen one of my videos before, this is my first official spring garden. I'm calling it that because I did start gardening last year in March, and it did not go well at all. I was playing catch up the whole time, so I'm not even counting that. I'm not counting it, and y'all can't make me count it. So this is my official first spring garden. It's my garden, and what I say goes in my garden. I am going to give you guys a tour today, and we'll see what's going well, what's not going well. If you're not new here, you know that I welcome all of your help, your critique, whatever you see that you think I can do differently or do better, put it down in the comments, because I need all of you experienced gardeners to help me along this journey. There is no way that I can do this on my own. In fact, I started gardening by watching YouTube, and one of the reasons why I started my channel is because I wanted to give back, because I wanted to give to the community that has given so much to me, and I know that you guys out there will be able to help my garden thrive. I want to learn as much as I can, as fast as I can, because I think it's important for everyone to be learning to grow right now. So with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and start the tour in the greenhouse. So let's get started. So here in the greenhouse, I don't have much left. I am almost done putting everything out. I have a few starts left that I'm going to fill in when I succession plant after I remove my onions that are behind me in that bed. I am probably going to do corn. And I have a few okra that I have left, and I have, you'll see them when we get down there. There's probably one or two okra that aren't doing very well, and I'm just going to remove those and replace them with the starts that I have left in here. We have these two right here are okra, and this one is a roselle, and I'm going to go ahead and plant that one too, because I ain't leaving nothing behind except for this cucumber. This cucumber looks crazy, and I don't think that it's going to do well at all. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go. This one little sad cucumber. So sorry for the cucumber, but it's not going to make the cut. I also have one tray of things that I just started probably about 2 weeks ago. Collards. I have some Swiss chard in here, and Vivian lettuce, which is a lettuce that's supposed to bolt a little bit slower. So I wanted to try that out as well. I'm using all my Dollar Tree containers, and I put some baby choy in here. I have some that are a little bit older on top, and then in the bottom tier I have some younger ones. As I told y'all, my daughter really enjoys bok choy, so that is why I'm growing so much of it, and it's an easy grow, so that's something that we're going to do for her. I also have another few starts in here, which are lettuce as well, and arugula. One of them looks like it's about to bolt, but I'm really surprised that it's lasted this long. So it is what it is at this point with this arugula. This planter here is a gift that was given to me from one of the subscribers. It's got some creeping Jenny in here. I believe that one is coleus. It's got vinca, because she knows I love vinca. I cannot remember what this one is, but I know that is a begonia there. This is a fuchsia. I think I'm going to do, because I don't want to leave this hanging thing right here. I don't think it's that stable. So what I think I'm going to do with this is go ahead and move it into separate containers, because I really don't think this is a good spot for it, seeing as how my wind gets very high. And some of these plants need a lot of shade. I have a flower bed in the front, so I'm going to move some of these to that area because it gets a lot of shade up there. And then some I will put in some pots and put them around the back behind my brassicas. But isn't this just the sweetest gift? I didn't even expect it. This is beautiful. We also have a Amish paste tomato that is growing here in the greenhouse as well. I have a cucumber. I didn't label it, so I don't know which kind this is, but I have one growing right here. We have more lettuce down here in this container. This still looks okay, and this 4-season lettuce still looks okay. This is giant Caesar, and I just harvested off of that, and I know that's okay. But this gourmet blend is gone to seed, and I am going to pull that soon. This sad aloe vera here is either getting too much sun or too much water. So I'm going to let it dry out. I do need to move some of these plants because there are lots of plants in this one tiny pot. When I get back from my trip, I'm going to get it done because I've been saying this for a month now. More than a month, probably 6 weeks since I had it. At the entrance of my garden, you can see I've installed the trellis for my grapevine, and I think it looks really, really nice. I got that trellis from Temu, and my husband and I put it together maybe a week or so after I got the grapevine. And on this side, in this pot, I have some morning glories, and they are starting to vine. I also have some vinca coming up in this pot as well. The grapevine is growing very quickly up this trellis. I added some garden netting, as you can tell, for it to climb on, and I think it's really liking that. In these Dollar Tree containers, I have some beautiful vinca, and I think the darker leaves are doing better than the light leaves. As you can see, this one looks a little sickly, where the darker leaf one is doing well in the heat, and we're getting ready to get in the 90s. So I think I will go ahead and go get some starts on some vincas that have the darker leaves. This is not even all in frame, guys. That bunch of onion needs to come out of here. I'm going to do a full reset probably on these Dollar Tree containers, because a lot of these onions I'm going to need to move to other areas because they are just getting too big for these containers. That is a vinca that I started from seed. I'm so proud of myself. I only had 2 that survived, but they are doing very, very well. Here's another vinca that I bought. We've got baby choy and parsley down there. Oregano. This oregano, probably I need to cut it a little bit. We've got some kale, and that one is going to need to come out soon because I think it's getting root bound. Thyme in there, and I'm trying to grow some thyme in there as well. The seeds haven't come up yet. I think this is a snapdragon here, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see what happens with those seeds right there, but I think it's something that either went to seed or it's a snapdragon. That's another vinca here. Down at the bottom right here, I have some sage, and I just turned this around because I think it was getting burnt in the sun. So I'm trying to see if a little bit more shade might help that. I have another bunch of onion. Everything else in this pot had to come out because it was just taking over. I've got some more thyme here that's doing very well. More sage. I actually have some beets coming up in this pot. And what happened was I did not think that the seeds took. So I was planning other things, and then one day I saw that beet pop up, and I was like, okay, I guess you want to do something. So I took the other, whatever it was, I took it out. I let it have some room, and now it's growing. So we'll let it stay in there until it gets a good size. These basil need to be up potted. There are so many in here, y'all. I'm going to get to that today. We also have more bunching onions here, some dill that I grew from seed, and I need to move it because you can see the heat is getting to it over here. So I'm gonna move it to a shady area. We've got another beet over here, some more kale. We've got more sage here, another vinca. And all of these empty pots, I will come through and drop some more seeds. I probably am just going to do herbs during the summer that I know will do well in the summer in these Dollar Tree containers, because it's getting ready to get super hot. And also the other thing I was thinking is that I can move more in this area here and just line that whole part, because as you can see, it's already shaded out and it's just now 1 o'clock. So I could move all of these over there. And if you see right here, I have these containers that I can throw something in and put them on these pavers. That could definitely be an option as well. I'm still thinking about it. Over here, in these little hanging pots that are so cute on the front, I have alyssum and vinca. And these are those pretty white ones. They look so pretty to me. I just love them. Here we've got a strawberry patch, and it is coming along quite nicely. I just harvested a huge strawberry off of it today, and the strawberries are getting a much better size on here. I think that might be the only one for now, but I have quite a few flowers that are forming in this bed. I think this one here and this alpine one are June bearing, so I'm not looking for those to come up. But I got some Nigerian spinach from Etsy, and I seeded it in here, as you can see, and it is coming up now. And what they say is strawberries and spinach make really good companions. So we'll see, because I have it all over this bed. And in the back, we've got more bunching onions. So what we're doing with the bunching onions is we're going to harvest all of them soon. And I am going to freeze them, and then we'll just have bags on hand ready to use. In this blue container, the zinnias are still doing quite well. They are not minding being shaded a little bit. This container here has more strawberries. These are Chandler strawberries. And as you can see, lots of blooms on here as well. And these are everbearing, because I've already gotten lots of strawberries off of that one. We up potted some of the kale that was last month was in the Dollar Tree container into this container, and it is doing very well. Back there we have some milkweed that I know will probably get really big, but once it gets too big and it looks like these things are struggling in this pot together, I will go ahead and remove the kale and put it somewhere else. This area here is on a raised shelf that I made out of just some wood and some cinder blocks. And as you can see, I have my brassicas over here, and the shade is coming from this direction, so it will get some afternoon shade. And that is what they need, because look right here. I've got a broccoli head forming right there. And last year, when I did them during the fall, they went directly to seed. They went directly to seed. So I was not confident that I was going to get a spring harvest from this broccoli, but now I know if I start them early enough in the spring, I can get a broccoli head. So I'll probably do more next year. These are crimson giant radishes, and as you can see, I have a few that are going to seed. I didn't even know. Well, I guess I do have radish seeds, so I guess they can go to seed. But some of them are not. We are moving them back in the shade over here, so hopefully I can have some seeds and get some that I can harvest. This is another pot of broccoli. I don't think this one is getting ahead yet, but this one over here is. We also have a Georgia Southern collard right here in the front that is humongous. The leaves on everything are a little droopy because it is afternoon and the sun is out. This is a cauliflower. I'm just going to pull it. I don't think that it is going to grow a head. I will pull it and use the pot for something else. As you can see, we have had a loss. Well, I'm not even sure yet. The peas, I didn't notice that they were getting powdery mildew. And also, probably I wasn't watering like I needed to. So they are all brown at the bottom. But at the top, it's still green. So the plants are still alive. And I still have some blossoms. I still have some peas coming in. So I'm just going to wait until these come in and finish this harvest. And then I will go ahead and pull these out and put in some pole beans. But after I sprayed my neem oil and soapy water, I did that twice last week. And I did see a improvement in the powdery mildew. It is almost completely gone off of these plants, and I'm seeing the greenery start to come back down at the bottom. So I'm wondering if I just keep watering, will they bounce back? Basically. So I'll probably give them another couple of weeks so I can get this harvest off and just nurse them along until I get this harvest off. I am not happy about this because they were doing so well, but I do know that I have learned that I do need to probably water more and pay more attention so that I can catch it earlier, because I can spray that neem oil and soapy water and it will help. I have carrots coming up in this pot and I have thinned them some, but I will come back through and thin it some more. These are the leeks. Some of them did not survive. So I will be putting some more seeds in here so that I can have a second pot of leeks, because I do have some on the other side of the garden, but I will reseed this container. I went ahead and put some more seeds in this Detroit red beet container that I have here, because I only had 2 that really came up and survived. I have these small seedlings that are trying in here now. So I will probably move this out of the blasting sun and put another shelf right here on this wall with those containers. That black one that's there and these 2 terracotta color here. The same thing was happening, a lot of yellowing with these beans here. They're mostly bush beans, but I do have some Cherokee purple as well over here. And I started watering them more and they started to thrive and do better, grow more leaves, look greener. I was just not doing what I was supposed to be doing. But now, as you can see, I've got some beans coming on here and all of those. Yeah, I need to get over here and harvest all of these. Back in the back here, I've got some parsnips. I am pretty sure that these parsnips have split. What I found out is that they need consistent watering. And again, in this area, the whole problem was, y'all, I don't think it was all my fault. I'm going to take responsibility because I didn't notice it fast enough, but I did put in measures to water this automatically because, well, not automatically, I would have had to turn it on, and I was turning it on. But this hose here is a sprinkler hose, and it was getting everything wet, but it was not getting it soaked into the roots. And that's what I didn't realize. So if you have one of those sprinkler hoses, you still have to come by and hand water to get it down into the soil for the roots to be able to benefit from it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and pull these parsnips out because I'm pretty sure that they split because I checked it the other day and it just felt crazy. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Yeah. See, it was doing crazy stuff. That was supposed to be a parsnip. Maybe it split into like 2 or 3. I don't know what's going on with these, but I know I ain't eating it. This one did the same thing. We'll try again next fall, but these are not getting eaten. They look ridiculous. I did put I think that's a summer squash back there. So it'll get more light and resources now that I pulled that parsnip out. The rutabagas are doing, I think they're doing okay. They weren't getting enough water and I started watering them again. We're getting some growth. All of them are coming along. That one looks really good. Yeah, so I'm excited about these. I think that we'll get a good harvest off of those in the next couple of weeks. Same thing with these beans here. And I have succession planted some beans on the back side of the garden. So we do have some more beans to come up as well. This one is a summer squash that is doing much better than the one over there because I think that one got shaded. But this one has some flowering on it. I don't think it's a female flower. No, it's a male flower. But that's fine. It's coming along. I also seeded some turnips down in there. And I don't know if I will thin that out. I might use them as greens and not thin it. In this area, I have all of my sweet peppers. I have mostly California Wonder and Kaleidoscope, which is a variety pack of seeds. So you don't know if it's purple or white or red or what it is. And I also went and got some starch yesterday. And I wanted some that were a little bit more mature than the ones I had. And I found this one is a yellow bell pepper. I got them from Tractor Supply. And I went back there because of this one in particular, which is a Big Bertha bell. And it gets super long and super big, so it can be stuffed, which I love stuffed bell peppers, and I haven't had them in a long time, so I'm looking forward to that. So I went back specifically for this Big Bertha bell, and what happened was I had 2 of those, and I was going to get 2 of those and 1 of the red bell. Well, when I got to the register, I noticed that one of the plants had aphids all over it. I had to go ahead and put it back and go get another one. But it worked out because when I went back, I found a pot that had 2 plants in it instead of 1. So I ended up getting 2 red bell pepper starts, 1 Big Bertha, and 1 yellow bell pepper. And here is the other one that I got at Tractor Supply. And I just transplanted them today. And that's why this marigold is looking like it's in shock. Okay, so here we are at the potatoes. I do not know what happened. I know that there's normal dieback at the end of the potato's life. However, I planted the Yukon Gold and the Kennebec on February 16th in these containers here and in the raised bed. The raised bed is still green and beautiful. Well, it has some dieback, but not as much as these. So I think they either got a disease or there was not enough watering in here. So I did start watering more. I'm going on a trip, so I'm not going to harvest them until I get back from my trip, but I'm not real happy about this. And for sure, this one back here is a red Norland, and it doesn't have as much dieback as this does, but it's dying as well. So I'm pretty sure it was either a disease or lack of watering. I do know that there are potatoes in here because there were some on this side that died out pretty quickly. And so I pulled them and I was able to harvest 3 potatoes that were about yay big. So I know there's potatoes in these buckets. So we will get something. We will get a harvest. But what that will be, only the Lord knows. It's in the Lord's hands at this point. So y'all pray for my potatoes. Pray for my potatoes, please. So as you can see, these here are the Clancy potatoes, and they are still green and blossoming. They have beautiful blooming flowers on them right now. Potato flowers are toxic, so they won't be eaten. But I'm still happy to see them because they mean that there are some tubers growing down underneath. And as you can see here, these are the other Yukon Gold. And you see there's some yellowing and a little bit of dieback, but nothing like what's happening here. These look awful, just awful. And I think something else is even sprouting from maybe one that was left down there too long or something. I don't know. But this one here, that looks like it just sprouted and brand new. So I have no idea. I am baffled. And if you have any ideas what is going on with this, please let me know down in the comments. These right here are the Chick-fil-A bags on the side. They also have Yukon Gold. They're not as bad as the other ones, but I think this might be normal dieback over here. And it could be a little bit that they dried out because these bags here are very similar to the grow bags and they dry out quicker. This is a mustard that I'm letting go to seed, and it has pretty blooms on it as well. Coming down by the fence, I have another pot of kale and milkweed, which are doing well. So here we have African daisies, and I am so excited to see them blooming. They are very pretty, very pretty. We've got yellow and orange, and a Shasta daisy that is growing slowly, but growing there. This is a jalapeno. And as you can see, we've got 1, 2, and 3 jalapenos on there. We've got some blossoms and some more jalapenos forming over here. So this plant is tiny, but it's doing a lot of work, and I'm not going to pull those off. I'm going to let them grow. Over here, I've got a red jalapeno, y'all, and I am going to harvest it today because we didn't want them to get that hot. My husband said, oh my goodness, it's red. So yeah, we're going to be pulling that off. And over here, As you can see, we've got another green one there and another green one there. What I was waiting for to harvest was for it to start corking and getting the lines on it, but it did not do that before it turned red, and that's super red. So I'm definitely gonna get that off of there today. This is also a jalapeno, and this is one that I grew from seed. This one is one that I overwintered, but I got as a start last year. This one I got as a start as well. Only one of these that I grow from seed, but they're all in my garden and I'm growing all of them. These are heat wave tomatoes, and they don't have any blossoming yet, but they are growing a lot bushier, and they are supposed to be a bush style tomato. So hopefully they will get a lot bigger, and then in the summertime when the heat hits, they won't drop their blossoms. They are hybrid. That's not supposed to do that. So I'm hopeful that that is what will happen. My mammoth sunflower here is doing quite well. They're growing a lot bigger. I think I prefer the heirloom beauty though. Oh wait, it's getting a second head. It might be an heirloom beauty. It's just not that big. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? 2 more heads on there. So yeah, I think that is an heirloom beauty. In this pot, I companion planted the sunflower with carrots, and they are actually coming in nicely. So I don't think the hormone that the sunflower releases does affect the carrots. I did research that before I put those in there. In this pot right here, I have pigeon peas, and I have 3 other pots going down right here, and I'm also growing pigeon peas in those. They should get super big and give some shade to the things in the cattle panel, and that is my hope. But what I did not expect, y'all, I put regular size marigolds in with my tomatoes. I did not know that these marigolds were going to get huge like this. And this is not the biggest one, but I think right now it's fine because it's offering some shade and helping them to actually grow a little bit better. Here, this cherry tomato has outgrown this marigold, but here we have I believe this is an early girl tomato, and you can see it's already getting a blossom on it. So we'll probably have tomatoes by tomorrow on this one. I think it's fine. I think it'll be fine. This one, I did have another marigold in front of it here, but I took that one out because I just think it was way too shaded. Because here, this is the tomato plant here. And as you can see, that big bushy marigold is right in front of it. We'll see what happens. It may be a blessing, it may be not, but I think that's the only one of those that I'm going to move from that spot because I want to see what happens. This is another vinca that I grew from seed. We have more early girls over here, and this is why I'm not as worried. I've got some basil down here that I companion planted with these, and another marigold, and I can take that one out if I need to. This pot actually has 2 early girl tomatoes in it. Both of them are flowering. We have flowers there and flowers there. This one is an early girl as well, and it is doing fantastic. We've got a blossom right there. Also have some basil, more basil, and more basil there. Here in this area, these 2 pots I stacked on top of one another, and I planted rosemary down in here, and it's actually doing pretty well. I'm kind of shocked because it's spreading out in this pot. The zinnias are starting to bloom, and they are absolutely beautiful. We've got purslane that is blooming and spreading as well. This purslane is something that has shocked me, but I really do like the look of it and how pretty it is. It's doing well in here with this sage as well. I'm gonna have to take these cucumbers and put them on a string and hang them from the top of the trellis because I don't want the vines from these morning glories to wrap around my cucumbers. I will absolutely lose it and cut them. I absolutely will. As you can see, we have cucumbers, tiny female cucumber flowers all over these plants. I have not hand pollinated yet, but if I need to, I can. The nasturtiums here, I'm pretty sure they're dying, so I'm just going to replace them with something else. And remember, I told y'all that's not even the biggest marigolds that we have. The marigolds on this side are out of control. They just out of control, out of order. You see how many blooms this marigold has? That's ridiculous. And way back here is my tomato plant. I think it's okay. I think it's getting overhead light, and I think later in the afternoon, this marigold is offering it some shade. And so I'm going to leave it and see what happens. There's nothing in front of this one. So it's getting some light and some shade from the direction that it needs to get shade from. So I think it's fine. And on this one is an Amish paste tomato, and we actually have some blossoming. We are in the back of the garden now. I have a Georgia Southern Collard here and back there, and I'm going to harvest when I get back, do a harvest on these. We've got lots of oregano here. More collards here that are a little bit younger. I moved from the Dollar Tree containers, and I actually have some cabbage that is heading up. When I get back, I will go ahead and harvest these because I will be gone for a while, and I want to give them just a little bit longer to get a little bit bigger. But that is wonderful. That is my first time getting cabbage to head. So now I know that I can get it to head in the spring. So we can grow cabbage and broccoli in the spring. And that is fabulous to know. My husband makes a dish called pancit, and he uses that cabbage in it, and it is fantastic. Here is a summer squash. And down in here, I also have carrots coming. Eggplant, and it is doing quite well over here. And more carrots down in there. On this side, I have a early girl tomato. This is the only one that I have in the garden that has not gotten blossoms yet, but I do see signs that it will get them soon right here. So that's encouraging. All right. Here is something that I will never do again. I will never buy onion sets again. These are not bulbing. Actually, this one here looks like it broke. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. It's just rotten. It's rotten. But they have not fallen all the way over yet. They are thick on the stem. They have lots of green growth, but no real bulbing. I mean, look how thick that is right there, but no bulbing. That's insane. But what I am excited about, two things. I am getting some seeds, looks like. So I can try to grow some seeds and have some seeds for next year from this debacle. And The onions that we planted together from Tractor Supply, they are bulbing. So I want to move all of these. I want to just go ahead and rip them out so that these back here will get some more sun. Right now, I think they're getting shaded out, but I think they're doing okay. I also grew some onions from seed, and I planted those with you guys as well. And they are also bulbing. Those are red onions there. This one is going a little bit slower than the pot in front of it, and I moved them because I don't think they were getting enough sun. So I pushed, as you can see, that whole spot right there is where this one was. So I moved everything this way so that this pot can get some more sun, because I think that it was growing slower because it wasn't getting as much sun as this one is. So we caught it early, and I think we still have time to get some bigger bulbs on this one. These are all the garlic I have left. I have harvested the rest of them. We have used them, but they were tiny. I mean, this size. They were tiny. And I do know that you're supposed to harvest these when you have about half of them turn brown, half of the leaves turn brown. So I am going to look at this. Look at this, y'all. Is this one just now popping up? It is. That's insane. Why are you just not popping up? Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna let it do what it do. I am not going to pull it. That is crazy. Wow. I have a roselle. And let me tell y'all what happened. So in these pots, I planted peanuts. I planted peanuts here, and originally down in the first 4 okra over here. I did not think these peanuts were going to come up. So I took my remaining raw peanuts and put them in paper towel to sprout them. By the time they got the sprouts, I started seeing these peanuts come up. Only one didn't come up. But yesterday, I went ahead and put a peanut in this one. I put a peanut in that one that I sprouted from paper towel, and I replaced the peanut that didn't come up here in this one. And now I'm going to have lots of peanuts. That's the whole moral of the story. Just wait. Don't be impatient. Because now I'm going to have way more peanuts than I probably need. My husband wants some, but he's not going to be able to eat all these peanuts. The roselle seems to be doing very, very well. I'm very proud of it. And yesterday when I was out, I saw a strawberry hibiscus tea, and we tried it and it was phenomenal. So if we have strawberries and we have hibiscus, you're not gonna be able to stop me from making that all summer. Looks like we are already getting calyxes on this roselle, which I've heard other people say that it's not supposed to come to the end of the summer, but they're seeing them as well. And that is very, very encouraging. Okra. I'm excited about my okra, y'all. We've been harvesting off of these, but I'm going to come and pull these after I finish with you guys today. I'm going to come through and do a harvest on these okra, because once you pull them, they'll start forming more okra. But every single plant almost, except for this one, which I'm going to replace today. I have no idea what happened to that. I think something chewed on it and took the leaves off or something. I don't know. But I'm going to come through and replace this one with one of the ones in the greenhouse. The leeks are doing well, but these are the starts that I got from the nursery. I didn't grow these from seed, so they're not struggling like mine. Well, they're all mine. They're in my garden and I'm claiming it. Right here we have a beautiful heirloom beauty sunflower, and we have carrots in here as well. We had a carrot harvest a few weeks ago, and those carrots were amazing. So my husband said, how many carrots you got out there? How many carrots have you planted? And I was like, I don't have very many left. And so he was like, go plant some more carrots. And so I planted more carrots. I planted them everywhere. Here we have paprika peppers. So with these paprika, I am not sure if they are hot paprika or if they're the paprika that you make the smoked paprika out of. I hope that these are the ones you make the smoked paprika out of, because I absolutely want to make my own seasonings. Seasonings are so expensive at the store that I think that this would be fantastic for us to be able to go ahead and make our own smoked paprika. So I know y'all see these bags over here and y'all are wondering why she didn't put them bags in that shed. So that shed has not been easy to put up, and we have tried leveling it. As you can see, our ground is slanted all the way back here. So we have tried leveling it as much as we can, and my husband is trying to make sure it's as stable as possible before we put those in there. I got this at Costco, and if you go back and see the video where we were shopping, I saw it then, and we went back and got it probably about 2 or 3 weeks later. It was $3.99. So it is not expensive, and sometimes you get what you pay for, but the material it's made out of is not the problem. I don't think it's even a manufacturer problem. I think it's the fact that our ground is not level and we didn't pay anybody to level it. So I think that's the issue. We also wanted something that was short that wouldn't show over that fence, which it does not. So there's that as well. These are the sweet potato slips that I got from Miss Georgia Peachnut, and they are doing wonderful. So what I'm going to do is add my marigolds from these cucumber plants over here. I think it's just too much going on in these pots, and I can't even see my cucumber plants behind these. So I'm going to take those 2 marigolds and place them in the front of this pot and this pot. And this one I already moved from my tomato plant here, so I know that it'll do well in this soil, and I think it'll be fine because I'm actually going to trellis my sweet potato slips up this cattle panel here. These on this side are sweet potato slips that I got from Gurney's, and they are doing well as well. Here we have some vinca. They look very pretty. Well, let me stop there. The darker leaf vincas, like I said, are doing better. So these that have the light leaves on them, they just look a little sad to me. I might come through on these and cut off the light leaves, because I see some are dark on here and some are light, which is not the case on the other side of the garden in the Dollar Tree containers. So I may not replace all of these, but I just don't like that at all. We still have pretty purslane blooms, and I don't know if it's going to come up on camera, but do you see that gold pretty splash on the inside of this purslane bloom? It is beautiful, and it's only like that for a couple of hours every day, and then the bloom dies. Here we have some zinnias and the watermelon that I planted with you guys the other day. It's coming back to life. It's doing okay, so I'm happy about that. We do have some blooms. They are not female blooms, but that's okay. I want that plant to get a little bit bigger before it starts giving us any fruit. We have watermelon that I seeded in here because I was not sure about this plant, but those starts look pretty healthy. I may have to give some watermelon away, but I can grow 2 sugar baby watermelons in this pot. And I know that for sure because I did it last year in a pot that was smaller than that. I grew 2 sugar baby watermelons and they did quite well and produced quite a few melons for us. See, these look way more healthy. I'm enjoying everything about this pot over here. So pretty. Back here on the cattle panel, this crimson sweet watermelon is doing well. And we have 2 seeds that I dropped in here as well, and they have come up. I absolutely will have to give both of those away if this one goes well, because I do not want a large size watermelon, 2 of those in that pot. And I am going to come through and add some of that gardening netting to here so that we have more space for this crimson sweet to vine on this cattle panel. Here we have more pole beans. This is a winter squash, and we have 2 fruits growing on it. And I did come through and hand pollinate those. Down inside the pot, I have some turnips that I put in here, and they are coming up. More pole beans, and we have a zucchini that is ready to harvest. This is raised bed number 1, and it has kale, nasturtiums, snapdragons, sunflower, morning glories in it, just like the other side, and also zinnias. Snapdragons and zinnias are all blooming. The kale is out of control. I'm gonna have to harvest that as well before I leave on my trip. My husband makes really good kale chips, so I'm looking forward to that. And you guys know that I told you I do not like snapdragons, but let me tell you something. This is my favorite color, and this is the first blooms that came up off of these snapdragons. So I was like, okay, I see you, Lord. I see you, Lord, trying to say that I shouldn't say anything about your creations, because I like that. I actually think it's pretty. And not only that, I think it offers a depth to the garden bed that I didn't expect. It's a different texture than the rest of the flowers, so I think I like it. We're leaving raised bed number 1, and I'm going to show you raised bed number 2. Raised bed number 2 is the same thing, the exact same thing, y'all, as raised bed number 1, but look at the growth in it. It is amazing. It is so beautiful. There's so many blooms on these sunflowers, and the nasturtiums are absolutely beautiful. We've got yellow ones and orange ones. The zinnias are amazing. Yellow, purple. It's just, I can't say enough about this bed. And you see right there, we've got pollinators. They just love these sunflowers. I'm gonna leave him alone so that he can do his work. Now, what happened with my morning glories is they decided they wanted to wrap themselves around my sunflowers. And so I had to come through and redirect them up this cattle panel like they were supposed to go. But now they're starting to reach up to where I'm going to have to remove the window box, which was the original plan. So I will remove these when I get back from my trip and allow them to grow up the cattle panel. But like I said, if they touch my cucumbers, they will have to go. It's going to be RIP for those morning glory. So that's the end of the May garden tour. I'm so excited about all the growth and all the changes that we had over the last month. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Please let me know in the comments what you're thinking, what you think I could do differently, or if you just enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going out of town. So when I get back, I will probably film what I come back to, because we know that there are things that happen while we're gone. But I know that it'll probably be okay, because while I'm gone for the entire week, it's supposed to rain. And you know, the Lord's water is better than any water that you can ever give it. So I know that it will probably have some explosive growth by the time I come back. And I'm excited about that this time. I'm not worried about going on my little trip that I'm going on. So when I get back, we'll see what the garden is looking like at that time. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you'll come back and see us. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you'll be notified when I put out new videos. And as always, until I see you next time, may the good Lord take a liking to you.